Let's talk about the Victoria thing. Actually, I kind of want to talk into the subject about the Victoria of her graduating. You know, I don't know. When, is she leaving or did she already left? I'm not really too sure about it. So, but it's very interesting to kind of, I did say, the last time we talked about it, right? We did say that, like, I had my money on, like, well, actually, I said this. I wouldn't be surprised if Victoria leaves, to be honest. Like, honestly, like, the way how that specific wave or so was treated, like, specifically overall, that wave of the Nijisanji wave was so mishandled so badly. It was just like it was inevitable that I feel like that specific wave might actually die. I wouldn't be surprised if what's his name or so. I forgot what the guy's name or so. I know there's like one dude or so that's in that wave specifically, but if he stays, it wouldn't surprise me. But if he leaves, it's kind of like, okay, well, it doesn't surprise me either at the end of the day, because you want to know something, that wave, that specific Nijisanji wave was so mishandled so badly. It's just kind of like, man, dude, not really worth of you guys staying, to be honest. In my personal opinion. And to be honest, I feel very bad for Miss Victoria, because the only reason why I feel pretty bad about Victoria herself is because, like, two of her Oshis graduated. One of them had a really bad termination or so because of Niji-sanji mishandling the situation and everything, and is also a piece of shit company at the end of the day, right? So, it just kind of sucks that Victoria is kind of like, I guess you could say she's kind of getting like mistreated, because she's in like the Niji-sanji group or so because of this situation. Because I remember specifically, right, where there was a situation that she joined a fighting competition and Doki Bird was there too, but they weren't gonna fight against each other because, they don't want Doki Bird having PTSD about the situation or so. And the what is it, the creator of the competition asked Doki Bird if they wanted Victoria to be gone, doesn't want to not show up to compete or so. And then Doki Bird said, no, it's okay, don't worry about it. Which is pretty nice. It's pretty nice that Doki Bird, said that. Then she's pretty much cool with it. She doesn't really care as much, right? And it's kind of very interesting to see that, like, Victoria's just she's kind of getting that mistreatment or so, just because she has the Nijisanji branch and logo on top of her head or so, because they've been kind of like, because Nijisanji itself has been castrated to be a black company at the end of the day, whether you deny it or accept it, especially the people who try to deny it or so, right? It's a black company, and that's it. That point in period. You can't defend that at the end of the day. But I'm kind of curious to see if she talks about it in like in a stream or something like that. Let's take a look at the video, shall we?
Hey, what's up, guys? Over here. So today we're going to be looking at yet another Nijisanji EN graduation and yet another terrible look for the company. Now, graduations are always a sad bit of news for fans of a VTuber to hear. However, with Nijisanji, there's something kind of interesting with a lot of the recent graduation announcements, and it's that a lot of people are meeting it with a sigh of relief that basically their favorite VTuber is free of this hellhole and can now have a successful independent career without so many occupational hazards and creative limits to worry about like they did at Nijisanji. So who is the latest VTuber to graduate from Nijisanji EN? Well, it is Victoria Brightshield. She'll be graduating in 2 weeks, and if you
Oh shit! In 2 weeks, she's graduating in 2 weeks. Wow, that's a lot sooner than I actually thought. Actually, wow, I thought it'd be like at least at the end of the month or something like that.
you've been paying attention to her time with Nijisanji, which has been about 13 months, you knew the writing was on the wall for this graduation. It was going to happen eventually because it seems very clear, and even from her own comments we'll look at later in this video, she has had a very hard time at this company. It seems like she
Oh yeah, no, like 100. Like, to be honest, the initial release or so of, like I said before, right? The initial release of this wave specifically, I was like, oh, this wave is gonna suffer significantly or so compared to the other waves.
she is constantly dealing with these external issues with the company. And on
Yeah.
top of that, as we'll hear later in this video, she literally describes her experience with the company as one that left her feeling small and defeated. In fact, things are so bad that she's questioning whether or not she even has the spirit to continue making content generally. That's how tough things have been with her stay at Nijisanji.
That's
So, what are
crazy,
the things
actually.
that we're
That's
talking
actually
about when we
legit
say she
crazy.
had a hard time? Well, publicly, we can only know so much, but this is really the first thing. I mean, this probably was a big red flag from the beginning with her experience there, where she comes in October of 2023, and part of that process, she says her favorite Oshis, her favorite VTubers, are Selene Tatsuki and Palmu Rainpuff, who were in the company, obviously. They were with Nijisanji
Yep.
then. And we know what happens only a few months later. Palmu graduates, and then Selene Tatsuki gets terminated, and that had to be a very surreal experience for her, right? You go in, you see your two Oshis leave, and one of them get terminated in a very messy set of drama. Like,
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
seeing your Oshi, you finally get into her company, you're working alongside her, then she gets terminated, and in the process, we learned that she was bullied internally at the company to the point of attempting her own life twice. And then you see all of your coworkers, your new coworkers, band together and throw her under the bus. It had to be an absolutely eye-opening experience for Vivi at that moment.
Honestly, that's
but
crazy.
There's some other things that happened a few months ago.
To be honest, that's literally the most craziest thing I ever saw, to be honest. Inoshi, it's a senpai. Also, when we saw this specifically too about this, let me see, hold on. Who else is also not on here? Oh, you know who else is not on this list too as well? I also just noticed too. What's her face? Scarlet. Scarlet is also is not on this list either. Thought about it, still feels bad to be left out. Talk about confusing when you find out about it publicly along with everyone else.
There was a NBA collab with Nijisanji, and there's obviously, with the size of the NBA roster of teams, there's a lot of spots, and unfortunately Vivi was left out of that, and she would make this tweet.
Like, she's not the only one that got left out or so. Scarlet's also got left out of this entire roster too as well. So I don't know who else is not in here either. I don't really know because I don't really remember Nijisanji talents at the end of the day. But I don't see Scarlet, and then I don't see Victoria. I caught one of Victoria's streams or so. I thought she was a cool person personally. It's just kind of sad or so that she's just getting, she kind of got the short end of the stick,
Basically saying how bad it feels to be left out, and also that she found out about not being in the collaboration through their public announcements. So she didn't even know that she was being left out until it was publicly announced, and she responded to that with these tweets. And this is the most recent controversy she has had, where she was a part of
this is
Slam,
the one here,
a Street Fighter 6 tournament, and she was going to be alongside in the tournament with Doki Bird, who is obviously the independent past life account of Selene Tatsuki, and they were going to be in the same tournament, and there were conditions placed by Nijisanji that these two could not interact in any sort of a way, which is really...
It's so stupid in my personal opinion. Honestly, it's so fucking dumb. When a company literally acts like a child or so, you know for 100% fact that being in the company is just not even worth it at the end of the day. Nijisas are the ones that mostly, the most mentality ill fandoms alongside Swifties and Sans. Yeah.
Really obnoxious to see, and I've already seen a lot of the Niji sisters on Twitter today trying to justify that move by saying, well, they were probably going to be in different skill divisions all along, so they probably never were going to interact in any
That's
sort
such a
of
stupid
way,
thing, to be honest.
Yeah, that might be true, but the fact that there's these conditions in the first place is what should make you upset. Like, seeing...
Like, the worst part about it, it's not even Victoria's fault. It's not even, Doki Bird's fault. It's literally Nijisanji, who is literally telling, oh no, Victoria can't interact with Doki Bird, even though Victoria looks up to Selene, which is aka Doki Bird, right, as an Oshi, right? She looks up to her, and now that she can't interact with her, she can't talk to her, she can't message her, she can't even do shit with her. It's like, what's the point of being a Nijisanji VTuber now at this day and age. At that point, it's just kind of like, it's not even worth it. Just go on your own now if you want to interact with these two now.
One of your favorite VTubers get barred from interacting with one of her favorite VTubers should upset you. It should leave a bad taste in your mouth. And the fact that
they're
not only
100%
what their current members are doing and who they can interact with, Nijisanji is also controlling who their former talents can interact with. And I personally, that just doesn't sit right with me, and it shouldn't sit right with you either. But anyways, Victoria Brightshield would go live after this graduation announcement, and she would spend some time, about 10 or 15 minutes of the stream, talking about what's going on with this graduation. And quite frankly, it's a tough watch. Like, it's genuinely depressing. Like, she's describing her process being here and that she is so apologetic to her fans that she let them down. But it seems very clear from the section we're going to watch right now that she is just defeated. Like, she is just, there's no other way of saying it. Her time with Nijisanji has literally broken her down. It has crushed her soul. They're not just trying to basically make you just exhausted as a talent. They literally want to break your soul to the point where you just have no self-confidence and you feel guilty for everything happening to you, even though most of it's not even your own fault. So
That's crazy. Honestly, that is actually legit crazy in my personal opinion. That is actually literally the legit craziness.
Listen to what she had to say here.
There's so many things that has happened with my time here, and it's made me feel so yippee. Made me feel.
Dude, this is hard to watch, dude. Like, just hearing the first couple words coming out of Victoria, it is so hard, so heartbreaking or so, because the way how she's being treated or so, it behind the scenes or so, it's just not super great at the end of the day, Like, honestly, she is feeling like shit, dude. Like, she is feeling like shit, Damn, dude.
Feels really small. It made me feel really bad. I yippee! Don't understand. It's made me question myself. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just like I'm defeated, man.
She definitely needed like a strong friend or so to kind of like help her bring her back up on her feet or so. Like, honestly, to be honest, if I got into Nijisanji or so, I would 100%, try to talk to her, have a just have a crying shoulder on, I'm like, I'm such a tough person or so that I can handle pretty much everything, that I get thrown at me. So honestly, to be honest, the void treats me a lot worse than here. So the life in the void is much colder than out here. So plus, also being raised in Call of Duty lobbies does definitely help you build a thicker skin than mostly anything out there, and that you can throw at me. To be honest. Yeah, I'll be very honest. I'm gonna be very honest with her. She feels super defeated. She feels very let down. Like, all the shit that's happened in the 1 year time span or so with Nijisanji, just kind of like, I'll be honest with you. Like, she's not my favorite, right? Like, she's not really my favorite Oshi or so or anything like that. Like, she's not really my favorite type of person or so. But I did watch her from time to time or so, like every so often, right? I thought she was personally pretty cool. I never had an ill intent with her at the end of the day. I thought she was a cool person. It's just very unfortunate that she came in at a wrong time, wrong wave, where Nijisanji, was getting completely flacked or so, and unfortunately their specific wave anyways was not really advertised very well, to be honest. I'll be frankly honest with you.
Like, imagine one of your talents describing their experience at your company as defeated,
Small.
as feeling small,
That's kind
and
of
all
stupid.
these related things. It's a terrible look for Nijisanji. And just like I said, the Niji sisters are out there somehow trying to jump through all kinds of hoops to justify what's happening here. If you actually care about the talents and you hear the way they're describing their experience with the company, how can you still support that stuff or try to justify it in any sort of a way?
I don't know. I tried my best. I wish I could endure. There were things that I was trying to look forward to and tried to do, but when those bad things keep happening and they keep adding up, I guess I'm tired. I don't have that fight in me anymore.
Yeah, like I said, literally
Jesus
a
Christ,
soul-crushing
man.
experience. If you're not one of the
This I ain't gonna lie, this shit is hard to swallow, to be honest. I'll be frankly honest with you. This is a pretty hard thing to swallow, to be honest, for poor Victoria at the end of the day, you know?
favorites at Nijisanji, in particular Nijisanji EN, it seems like they'll do everything in their power to break you down, right? They don't include you in things. They make all of your projects and your collaborations as difficult as possible, and they just...
To be honest, I'm gonna be frankly honest with you guys. If I would have joined Nijisanji, I would have caused chaos. I probably would break so many rules or so, just make collaborations with people, fucking do whatever the fuck I want to do, you know? I don't give a flying shit, to be honest. I don't really care, you know? If I would have gotten in or so, I probably would have caused chaos. Straight up, just actually straight up.
And eventually you leave. I don't know if this is like an active approach they have to certain talents that they want to get rid of. I don't know, but like, how do you explain these sorts of things? Like the examples we gave earlier about her being excluded from things or having these extra conditions. It's something we've seen with a lot of the former talents. And now that they're independent, a lot of them are extremely excited to not have to worry about those things again, and they're flourishing. You see people like Doki Bird, right? But here's an...
Sorry for pausing, but you want to know, people will probably be asking me, why would you make chaos or so behind the scenes or so in Nijisanji, right? You probably, you know, because like I've heard that, yeah, you don't get paid or anything like that. You want to know something? You really want to know something? Bro, I literally get almost like not a lot of money or so while I'm streaming normally. So, like, do you think I'm gonna be scared if I don't get a paycheck from fucking Nijisanji? It's like, ooh, I don't get fucking paid this month. Wow, it's not like it's not like I've gotten used to that shit, you know? Fucking A, dude. Like, honestly, I'd be like, oh wow. You're punishing me and you're taking away like 50% of my paycheck? Damn, dude, I'm so scared. Oh man, dude. Ooh. I'm like, bro, you didn't buy my computer, you didn't buy my fucking monitor, you didn't buy my fucking, you know, my keyboard or my mouse or anything like that. I'm like, shit, I fucking bought that shit myself, bro, with my own hard-earned money, you know?
Another clip I want to play again, just some further comments from her about her experience at Nijisanji.
I don't know. I feel broken. I don't really know. I think some of you guys are probably wondering about things for the future, but I really don't know. I don't know if I like streaming or content creation anymore.
Oh, that's pretty bad, actually. That's actually really bad, actually. No, don't say that, Victoria, don't say that. I think, personally, you're an awesome person, okay? From the interaction I had, well, not really the interaction, but what I've seen or so, at least, for some of the stuff or so that I've seen, specifically Miss Victoria, I think you're a really cool person, okay? Don't bring yourself down. The only person who should be bringing themselves down is me, because I'm a very judgmental person on myself. But that's how I improve on myself, though. That's the only reason, you know. I always talk bad about myself and talk shit about myself because, you know, because I know for a fact I can definitely do better, especially with content creating, like 100%, like making videos and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I'm too fucking busy, so I can't fucking do it, which kind of pisses me off or so, that, like, My channel is, yeah, it's basically like a reaction kind of type of thing, but at the end of the day, right, I kind of don't want it to be solely just a reaction channel, right? I do want to make my own content. There are some things that I do want to work on, but unfortunately I just don't have the time at this very moment. So right now at the moment, I'm kind of like bringing down my goals or so to a little more smaller perspective, right? We're working our way from the bottom and then we work our way from the top, right? Basically work at the bottom with the content creation that I can. That's pretty relatively easy to do for now. And then sooner or later, once I get certain revenue or so, I can probably hire an editor, hire a thumbnail artist, and be like, hey, is it possible that you can do this and this, and then I'll pay you with this and this amount or so for specifically for this kind of video, you know? And then that can probably make, and that'll probably help me focus on like being able to relearn my electric guitar again, finish some of these song covers that I need to do, work on relearning animation or so to do some videos or so with animations in them. Maybe some VR chat, maybe some fun VR chat content or so for streams. Maybe edit some of my own videos or so, right? Because I do have a certain editing style that I do like personally, but I can't do it or so because unless you guys only want to see like what 2 or 3 videos a month or so. Like I can do that. Like I can only just make 3 videos a month and that's pretty much it. But it would take so long or so for me to do it because at the end of the day, right, I do enjoy streaming. I do enjoy talking to my community. I do enjoy hanging out with you guys. And I always love people from my YouTube community come to hang out with me on Twitch, You know. I didn't get the chance to read any of the comment sections for this week or so or last week because I just been this entire month has been busy with games and fucking playing the Call of Duty campaigns in a single sitting, or trying to. Well, Black Ops 3 is the only one that I can't finish in a single sitting though. And that's pretty much, it. But like Victoria, look, I'm gonna. I know for a fact that Victoria isn't gonna watch this, but look, hun, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think you're a great person. I think you're awesome. You're very funny. Okay. There are some moments that I did actually enjoy watching you. Okay. Even though you may not be my favorite, but you're an enjoyable person to watch because Selene is my, was my favorite, and now she's Doki Bird. But I just haven't had the time or so to watch Doki Bird as of recently because number one, I've just been busy, of course, and then I usually have other things to do to take care of other things, so I don't really have time to sit down and watch a stream or so, I usually watch a little bit more of the lesser known indie VTubers that have less than 20 viewers. Those are pretty much the kind of VTubers, the indie VTubers that I do talk to and hang out, Well, not really hang out just because of my only thing, but besides that, I think you're a wonderful person. Don't give up on content creating. I understand that what you have gone through Nijisanji behind the scenes can kind of basically torn you down and makes you feel like shit and everything like that, but at the end of the day, don't think about that, right? Be happy. At least see the positive side that you got into a VTuber agency corporation. It may not have been a good agency corporation, but you won the lottery compared to thousands of others who tried to compete against you and you won. Because, they picked you because you were the best, in your craftsmanship, what you did basically. So I'm just saying, I think personally, if I ever get to meet Victoria, in her past life or so, in some random video game lobby, it would be an honor for me to, to have to get the chat with you, because at the end of the day, right, I personally don't hate her, so I think she's a cool person. I'm not really much of a, I don't really hold grudges against people, You know, it's just not my type of thing because it just, if you hold grudges, it kind of makes you ugly. Just an ugly personality and an ugly person at the end of the day. I think she's cool. It's just unfair that she's got untreated. Unfortunately, her soul is kind of a little bit broken down or so, and she kind of feels like, she just kind of feels like shit. And I'm gonna be honest with you, girl, you got this. You got this, okay? I believe in you. You got your shit straightened out. Like you're the one who fucking won the goddamn lottery to be in a VTuber agency. So you pick yourself damn back up again and you fucking ride that horse and you fucking you ride that shit down to the sunset. You got this. I believe in you.
I feel like I don't know why I get treated this way. I feel and I know like it doesn't have to be this way. And yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry.
So yeah, hearing that is obviously pretty depressing. Not only has she been run out of Nijisanji, she can't just keep operating there. She's now questioning if she really has it in her to even make content anymore because of whatever's been going on the last year or so. It's left such a bad impression. It's such a bad association with content creation that it's muddied the waters to the point where she doesn't even want to do that anymore. Which, yeah, again, how can anyone sit here and try to justify that? And you can see her apologizing profusely throughout this whole thing. And you can see she has a very nice community, right?
She shouldn't be apologizing whatsoever. This is completely out of her control and out of her hand. I feel like at the end of the day, right? I will still say this and say this all the time. These people who are in Nijisanji are young people. They're very naive young people that feels like they have to say sorry to everything, even though number one, it's not her fault. She didn't do anything. She didn't cause any of this. This literally has nothing to do with you. Like this is definitely just out of your control. This is all between, what Niji Sanji has did with whatever, what happened in the past, right? It just kind of sucks that, she just got the short end of the stick and she got treated like, just dog shit. Like it's like there's no sugarcoating it. She literally got treated like dog shit. And it kind of sucks in my personal opinion because at the end of the day, right? I think she's pretty cool, right? Her and Scarlet are both, are pretty enjoyable people to watch. I personally don't hate them, you know, and they never done anything bad in my personal opinion. So
I don't think anyone was worried about their reaction. They're super supportive, and that's how it's been. But you can see, she's talking about all these bad things that are happening and all this bad stuff around her. I mean, what else could she be talking about other than the company itself? Because everything else seems like it's going pretty well. But here's the thing that I definitely want to bring to your attention. She talks about not being sure if she wants to continue making content. Well, whether she does or not, this is her former account. This is her independent account, Mogu Ghost. If you want to give it a follow, I'll put a link to it in the description. And maybe.
oh yeah, no, 100%. I'm going to follow right now. Actually, to be honest, because why wouldn't I, right? Why wouldn't I support someone who thinks that I think it's pretty cool personally? So like I said, like I would say like she's not my she's like not my favorite. Like she's not like the top tier while I'm like always watching her, all the damn time when she's live or so. No, of course not. But I do from time to time or so. I do definitely watch it or so, you know. And I think personally, I wouldn't mind catching one of her indie streams to see how she normally is. I don't know if there's any VODs up specifically about her, because usually they kind of like want to wipe. They usually kind of want to wipe everything off the thing itself. Oh, there's some clip stuff at least. That's pretty much about it though. And there are some Vods. Maybe I can probably take a listen to it right after this video or so to see how she was initially. So, but yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I honestly never, I honestly never hated her. I thought personally she was a cool person at the end of the day. So. Like I said, I caught a couple of her streams, so I thought she was personally cool. So
maybe if she sees enough support, she'll want to continue on with content creation. And
I
this is
hope
one of the
so.
things I'm glad has deteriorated over the past couple of years. The taboo surrounding sharing past life accounts like this. This used to be a very bad thing to do. Like, mentioning this would have gotten me and a lot of other people in trouble, but
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's pretty stupid or so that talking about their PL lives or so is a taboo. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really cared. I'm gonna be frankly honest with you. I'd rather know where they came from personally to understand and be like, whoa, this cool, this person. So this is how they came up to be. It's kind of nice. It's a kind of nice, kind of like history kind of type of thing. Like, just kind of like just take a look at it. Just kind of see where they came from and where they are now. I've always liked that personally.
I like that this taboo has disappeared and that people can direct you where to go to find your graduated VTuber from Nijisanji or whatever company, and you can go continue supporting their career if she decides to continue with her career in content creation. And there's one more thing I want to talk about.
I hope she does. I'll be honest with you. I really do hope she continues. I think she would be a really great indie VTuber because then now she has more free liberty, more free space, and she can do basically whatever she wants to do. I'd say just do it. Keep going at it. Keep grinding. I think you can do it. You have a very loving, supporting community that loves you no matter what, and they would probably follow you even to your PL VTuber account, to your original VTuber account, I think it's better. I think it's better that way, I think they're definitely gonna, if you do come back or so streaming on that account or so, it's 100% worth it. I'd say it's worth it.
And that is the states of this Nijisanji EN generation.
Wait, who the fuck is that? Wait, who is that person? Wait, they had someone graduate on this wave? Who's this? Who the fuck is that? I don't even know who. Wait, what? Who the fuck is that person? Hold up a second. Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck? What? Is that from the JP? Is that from the JP branch or something? It has to be a JP branch, right? No, it's not a... It's not a JP branch. Who the fuck is that? What wave is that? What is that? What is that specific wave? He's like standing next to this guy. Is that part of... Was there initially supposed to be another person, question mark? Was there supposed to be like a fourth member technically? That's interesting. It shows a completely I don't know who that is. Probably someone in the comments that just can tell me who this specific person is. I know who this is. I know who this is. I know who this is. I know who that is. I know who this one is up here too. I've never seen this person here. I don't know who that is actually, to be honest. I can't find any information on this specific person.
Triple T, which as you can see with Vivi's graduation, the triple T is now a singular T, with the only person left being Claude Clawmark, who as you can see doesn't really enjoy my tweets. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This guy is now an island by himself, the same guy who said this legendary quote.
There's some people who are being like, oh my god, how come the lifers can't have their own button? How come they can't take it home? And it's like, all right, dog, you know what? If we really wanted one, we could just fucking ask. But whatever, man. You know, I think...
Ah, delusional person. I see. Ah, the man who's very delusional. He fits perfectly in Nijisanji, to be honest. I think people who are actually delulu or so about the company itself, they fit pretty perfectly or so in Nijisanji.
Yeah, so he's the one with the infamous "we could just effing ask" quote when he is talking about silver play buttons not going out to Nijisanji livers, which we know what he's saying is a load of BS, especially from quotes that have come from former Nijisanji talents who have shared that they were not able to get their silver play button. There's infinite evidence to suggest against what he was trying to claim there, but yeah, he's on an island now, and I don't know what they're going to do with him. They're going to make him join with another generation. Who knows, but that's the current status of that generation, and really, that's all we have to say about this graduation. Again,
that wave is completely dead, to be honest. I think his name. I don't know what his name specifically is or so. What the fuck is this guy's name? What is this dude's name? What is this guy's name again? I don't really remember, to be honest. Claude. Yeah, there you go. Even though freaking Rev just said it or so, I don't really care, to be honest. At the end of the day, right, Claude is the only one on this wave or so. This wave, this TTT, whatever the fuck it is, triple T or so. This wave is completely dead, in my personal opinion. 100%. Only having one member or so for this specific wave, it's a dead wave, you know? Hey, Gray. Yeah. Compared to all the other waves, they're still kind of holding pretty strong or so, even with one member leaving or so. This one has 2 members leaving. They still have 4 people left or so. But once there's only like one person or so specifically off this wave or so, that wave is dead. It's a dead wave, to be honest. This was probably the worst wave or so for them to release or so. Because both of these are graduated. Well, these 2 are graduated or so. This one will be graduating pretty soon, but this wave is dead. This wave is completely dead, honestly. I'd be surprised if, you know, how big of a community this Claude have or so, but hey, man. The man is Delulu at the end of the day, you know? So, at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know? So, I'll be honest with you, it is what it is, and I hope she continues doing, you know, content making. I think she's a cool person. Personally, you know, I've seen some of her streams and everything like that. I'm hoping, you know. Yeah, she really does need that one type of friend. She really definitely needs, you know, that one person to cheer her up, you know. 100%. Oh, I feel sorry for her, to be honest. I feel pretty bad for her. Ever since she joined her, so, and then like what happened at the beginning of January and February, yeah. It was definitely pretty bad or so for her, so. Yeah, it's about Victoria. It's about Victoria graduating or so. It's kind of very saddening or so that she's, you know, she feels very defeated, very just low energy whatsoever. She kind of needs that like kind of like pick me up kind of type of energy to someone to tell her, "Hey man, don't give up. You have a community that loves you at the end of the day. They are there to have your back, you know, and they want you to go back to your normal, you know, your normal PL life or so for you to continue content making and you know, just kind of like just keep going at it, you know, but in a new setting. So, but yeah, you know, that's it. That's pretty much my opinion of what I think about specifically of this situation. It kind of sucks, you know. It does really suck for her. I'm hoping that she, you know, that she comes back, you know. Don't give up, girl. Don't give up. All right? That's my own 2 cents. Never give up. Keep going at it. Seize the moment. Keep going at it, you know. There's always that quote from Rocky Balboa will always come in every single time or so, you know. I'd say take a listen to it and it'll definitely help you out cuz that's what it helps me out specifically. But yeah, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff and yeah, my personal opinion, Mogu. I'm not even going to call you Victoria. I'm going to call you Mogu from your PL life. Mogu, keep going at it. All right? Don't give up. All right? Don't let this be that bump in the road that makes you stop. That makes you stop on the side of the road just because it wasn't a good experience at the end of the day. You keep going at it, all right? Keep your chin up and you move forward, all right? That's all I got to say. And yeah, peace.